Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Olajide Bello. Many thanks for joining us. Remember, you can join us via our website nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. King Charles of the United Kingdom is among the world leaders attending the United States COP28 Climate Summit in United Arab Emirates. The King is to meet with world leaders at the COP28 Environment Conference. Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is among the first leaders who had a discussion with the King on energy and the Israel-Hamas crisis. President Tinubu left Nigeria for the conference on Wednesday and plans to remind developed countries of their public pledge to provide $100 billion annually for support to localized initiatives in addressing climate change-related challenges. During COP28, the Nigerian delegation to the summit is expected to actively explore new and deeper bilateral partnerships to implement Nigeria's energy transition Article 6 project, internationally transferred mitigation outcomes, technology transfer, capacity building, and methane mitigation. Meanwhile, Conference of Parties COP28 opens in Dubai with calls for accelerated action and high ambition against the escalating climate crisis. Charles Alpha reports that the conference takes place in what is already known to be the hottest year ever recorded in human history, as the impact of the climate crisis wreaks unprecedented havoc on human life and livelihoods around the world.
30th November to 12th December 2023 will be a major decisive moment for world leaders to act on climate commitments and prevent the worst impact of climate change on the planet, as the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP28 opens with a resounding call to accelerate collective climate action in Dubai. This global stocktake would be a catalyst for greater ambition in meeting the Paris Agreement's goals as nations prepare to submit revised national climate action plans by 2025. Nigeria is among the 160 countries participating at this global event and will be hoping it will find answers to some of its own questions regarding its energy transition plan, mitigation and adaptation efforts. Charles Alpha, NTA.
And now to the Red Chambers. As the Senate commences debate on the general principles of the proposed 2024 appropriation bill, lawmakers express optimism that the assumptions and parameters would effectively address present socio-economic needs in the country. Leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, opened the debate by drawing attention to realities of revenue shortfall and the challenge of tackling unexpected emergencies. He said some of the decisions of the government to achieve improvements across sectors include strengthening of framework for public-private partnership and concessions, as well as leveraging opportunities in the green finance.
If invested properly, debt could provide one with the platform and capacity to pay the debt itself and catapult one into a brighter future. And two, the second option, which is more dangerous, is to shrink the economy and risk political suicide and economic turbulence by sacking workers, obliterating opportunities, cutting social service, and starving our communities to death and oblivion.
Other lawmakers emphasized on equitable and fair distribution of resources and paying particular attention to implementation for all-round prosperity. And from the Green Chambers, the House of Representatives has described the 2024 Appropriation Bill as the foundation for renewed hope in Nigeria's economic prosperity, expressing confidence in the Tinubu administration to drive national rebirth and economic recovery. Commencing debate on the general principles of the 2024 budget proposal of 27.5 trillion, lawmakers in the Green Chamber commended President Bola Tinubu for presenting a realistic spending plan for the next fiscal year. They emphasized that the priority areas, which include internal security, local job creation, macroeconomic stability, and social security, are key considerations that address the concerns of the citizenry.
Economy, the need to encourage private investment, the need to tackle insecurity, to promote agriculture, expand the economic space so that we can create jobs for our children. Special attention was given to education, which particularly made me very happy.
To not only diversify in the area of agriculture, but also diversify in the area of mining and other relevant unexploited opportunities and resources in the country.
This budget focuses on national security as a top priority. And the function of every responsible and responsive government is to ensure protection of lives and property.
And when you look at the debt service, which amounted to 9.9 trillion, Mr. Speaker, if you are privileged to engage in the last 4 years budget, you will know that there is a little deviation for the better from a way and manner upon which our budget is being prepared and presented.
Lawmakers, however, advocate thorough scrutiny and oversight of estimates in the coming days to guard against wastages and ensure that revenue leakages are blocked. And talking health, the House of Representatives will, as a matter of urgency, begin to address the issues surrounding the massive exodus of medical personnel from Nigeria, which has left the nation's hospitals almost without capable hands. Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Health Institutions, Dr. Amos Magaji said this during an oversight visit to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Nwabufo Nwoye has details.
The Lagos University Teaching Hospital is said to have achieved a lot since its establishment for the past 60 years. Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Health gave the commendation during an inspection tour of the institution. While at the hospital's cancer treatment unit, the medical director, Professor Wasiu Adeyemo, said the hospital had treated about 11,000 cancer patients. The Chairman, House Committee on Health, Dr. Amos Magaji, assured of federal government's commitment to reposition medical profession in the country.
We also look at issues of funding. We are also looking at issue of infrastructure. Because of a truth, many health workers in Nigeria are working under stringent conditions.
COVID came. The federal government set up presidential task force. In my opinion, what did they do right? Like I usually say, they provided funds for the hospitals.
Health workers were advised to always comply with the ethics of the profession. In Lagos, Nwabufo Nwoye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Medical Rehabilitation Therapists Board of Nigeria has begun mapping out plans towards effecting a multidisciplinary rehabilitation workforce and building a comprehensive rehabilitation service delivery model to attain the World Health Organization's Rehabilitation Agenda 2030.
And perhaps getting much more important than infectious diseases nowadays. You hear of people having strokes. You have audiologists. I'm happy to hear that the audiologists are here. So there's so much to do in rehabilitation. And I'm happy that some universities are also having faculties now for rehabilitation all over the country, which shows the importance.
of rehabilitation.
Implementation of the Rehabilitation 2030 agenda in Nigeria will translate to tangible benefits such as improved access to affordable assistive technology, accessible products, services, infrastructure, and workforce. The impact on the populace and economy will include improved health outcomes following a range of interventions.
It was realized that strengthening rehabilitation services delivery and ensuring it is adequately financed is fundamental to ensuring that those who need the services are granted access.
Now, to gender-based violence, women should have equal opportunity as their men counterparts in the scheme of things so that the society will be better for it. This was the consensual viewpoint of interested parties during the 2023 celebration of the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence organized by the Center for Gender Studies, Nasarawa State University, KEFI, in partnership with Change Managers International Network, a non-governmental outfit. Mohammed Awalu reports.
Enforcement, societal norms, fetish practices, among others, have stalled full emancipation of women. In order to address the challenges, the Center for Gender Studies, Nasarawa State University, KEFI, in collaboration with Change Managers International Network, called for increased awareness that will lead to equality and equity in the society.
So it serves as a catalyst for advocacy efforts to change social norms, policies, and legislation that perpetuate gender-based violence.
Many people would not like to talk about it because we feel that it's, it will create some kind of stigma. But today, a lot of people confidently come out to report such cases.
We have to be critical to ask questions on sort of things, and in order to prevent such, we have to quickly report.
The laws are already in place, but a lot of people are not aware of it. The VAP law, that is Violence Against Women Prohibition Act of 2015, is in place.
The campaign theme for this year is Unite, a verse to prevent violence against women and girls. From KEFI, Muhammad Awalu, NTA News.
To the solid minerals sector, mining in Nigeria has contributed to the country's economic development, although the sector faces challenges such as illegalities, which has created an unstable operating environment for investors. To this end, the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development has given strong warning to mining communities to desist from illegal mining activities or face the full wrath of the law. Udwaketim reports that this was at a stakeholders forum in Cross River State.
Ekriko is one of the communities in Bayelsa local government area of Cross River State endowed with solid minerals such as gemstone, tourmaline and others, creating a deposit for mining in the area. Having received a report on illegal mining activities in the community, which resulted in confrontation between the youths and companies operating within the area, the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, Cross River State Office, in partnership with the Cross River State Government, swung into action with this Peace Talk and Sensitization Forum involving Special Mine Surveillance Task Force on illegal mining and community members.
So correcting illegal activity is not all about, arresting. When you have this kind of sensation, you educate them, they get to understand it better, and then you get better results.
This present government has no tolerance for illegal mining, and to encourage the youth to report any illegal mining in this community.
I need the company to be the guru for us.
Already we have embraced them to work with them, but it's meant for them to work with us too.
As soon as we succeed getting the minerals, of course, we will take up our corporate social responsibility.
The forum afforded members of the community to air their minds as they were also enlightened on cadastral units in the mining environment to ensure successful operations. From Bayelsa local government area of Cross River State, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
Over now to the Center of Excellence, where Hingino is standing by with more stories nationwide. Hingino.
Thank you, Olajide. As Nigerians await the approval of the budget of renewed hope,
some Lagos residents have called on the National Assembly to give it accelerated consideration for the 2024 Appropriation Act to come into effect in January, just as President Tinubu desires. Bolaji Akim completes the report.
The 2024 budget proposal, christened Budget of Renewed Hope, gives priority to areas such as security, job creation, economy, human capital development, among others. For the budget to make positive impact in the lives of Nigerians, some Lagos residents called for attention to be given to areas that will meet the expectation of all citizens.
Government really needs to work on that area of how they can revamp our economy to have a better bounce back.
They should create an enabling environment for the young ones to see and start something. And then the aspect of looking on the pensioner side.
The government should focus more on agriculture.
While commending the president for early presentation of the budget proposal, they called for transparency in the process of implementation.
Should be careful the way they are distributing it, and they have to make sure they monitor the expenditure process of it.
They see the rural areas, they know about our agriculture, the health sector, import and exports. They know much about these things than even we, the common people, do. So I expect they will just help us.
President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday unveiled the 2024 proposed budget of 27.5 trillion naira, which is said will improve the effectiveness of the country's budget performance, as his administration will focus on ensuring value for money, greater transparency, and accountability. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
The Supreme Court's ruling, which allows continued coexistence of the old Naira notes alongside the redesigned currency, has given Nigerians relief after a long period of uncertainties. The landmark judgment, experts say, is in tandem with the expectations of many Nigerians who cannot bear another cash crunch. Joel Pupola has the reports.
The untold hardship many Nigerians endured as a result of the cash crunch caused by the implementation of the Naira redesign policy early this year is an experience that will remain in their memory for a long time. Apprehension of another round of cash crunch has been allayed by the recent Supreme Court judgment, which technically means there is no deadline on the validity of the old notes as legal tender. This decision, according to respondents, is a welcome development that will excite many Nigerians.
Of course, it does ease the tension, but then you look back at what happened to people during that time. It was uncalled for, it was unnecessary. Put so many people through untold hardships and all of that. So I think before making this kind of rules next time, I think our people should be able to think long term.
The flow of Naira down will increase and everybody will be happy. Then when people go to bank, they will be going there with fear. As if they don't have money, they are going to collect.
It's a good development now. It's an old Naira note. We can still be using it as well. It cannot depreciate.
You know, Nigerians are not used to cashless policy as used to be. So our Supreme Court has ruled that there is no fixed date for it. I'm very happy about it and it's very good.
They describe the implementation of the Naira redesign policy as hasty, thus leading to serious economic backlash. Now that the rule of law has prevailed, Nigerians expect economic stability.
By the ruling of the Supreme Court, it is going to, help the system to be balanced. It will also, contribute to the economy of the country.
Just as the Apex Court ruled, Nigerians agreed that wider consultations with all relevant stakeholders should be taken into cognizance before implementing policies that have far-reaching economic impact. In Lagos, Joel Pupola, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. Nationwide will continue in Maiduguri after this break.
Thanks for being there. Welcome back to Abuja. And sorry, we couldn't join our Maiduguri Network Center due to some technical hitches. But as soon as we reestablish contact, we would definitely join Abubakar, who is standing by. Moving on. Steel producers in Nigeria who compromise safety in the workplace will be sanctioned by the regulatory agencies. The Federal Ministry of Steel Development gave the warning at the safety workshop for steel producers in Abuja. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mary Ogwe, in a message reminded operators of their responsibilities in contributing to the industrialization drive of the Renewed Hope agenda.
We had received reports in the past of occasions of unsafe activities in the industry that resulted in various degrees of injuries which could have been avoided if the principle of safety first, safety always was applied. Companies should provide training to employees on safe work practices and procedures.
While we urge you to take the safety and health of your workers seriously, we also remind you to protect the environment where you work from all types of harmful substances that could emanate from your operations.
And from the judiciary, in continuation of its engagements to refine and the process of administering criminal law towards ensuring a humane but workable justice system for the country, the General Council of the Bar is taking definite steps for the future of the legal profession. Its meeting in Abuja is also deepening collaboration with the law enforcement agencies for the evolution of a speedy criminal justice system. Olabode Arewa reports.
Established by the federal government in 1962 to incorporate attorneys general for the states and the federal government, the body has become an inner caucus of the Nigerian Bar Association, periodically appraising current socio-legal issues towards finding solutions to them. This time, the body is advocating the need for legal practitioners to approach it with issues that could be resolved through dialogue.
I wish to admonish all members of the association to seek administrative resolutions of matters within the administrative competence of the council.
On the challenges posed by issues of ethics and trust among the bar and the bench, the General Council of the Bar says efforts at promoting discipline could be more effective if members of the public also play their part by not seeking to corrupt members of the legal profession. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
37 inmates from 2 custodial centers in Rivers State who were granted bail but could not afford payment of fines have been released. Robinson Derataide reports that this is part of efforts by the Minister of Interior, Olubumiojo, at decongesting custodial centers across the country in line with his reform agenda.
I dedicate these funds for the release.
It was an exciting moment for 37 inmates from the Ahoda Medium and Port Harcourt Maximum Security Custodian Centers to regain freedom after several months in custody. Minister of Interior Olubumiojo represented says the release is part of the renewed hope reforms.
I enjoin you to stay off crime and criminality.
They will breathe the freedom air by the grace of God, and I pray that they will not find their way to the custodial center anymore.
Some of the inmates volunteered to speak after receiving 10,000 naira stipend.
Happy for what our leaders they are doing for us.
By going out of this place, I will not go back to the life I've been living that landed me into this problem.
An artwork constructed by the inmates was presented to the minister. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Derataide, NTA News.
Nigeria Customs Service, Niger Kogi Area Command, has intercepted alleged smuggled 11 exotic cars and generated over 10 million naira in revenue for the month of November. Customs Controller, Niger Kogi Area Command, Busayo Oluwagbemiga Kadejo, stated this while briefing journalists in Mina on the seizures and other activities of the command in the period under review. Husseina Musa complete the report.
Nigeria Customs Service Niger Kogi Area Command recorded a major feat in the area of anti-smuggling as it seized 11 smuggled exotic cars including a Range Rover 2019 model with diplomatic vehicle registration number plate. Another recovered equipment on display was a truck laden with dutiable items, jerrycans containing premium motor spirit, which have already been auctioned, with cumulative duty payable of all the seized items amounting to more than 56 million naira. On revenue, the Customs Comptroller, Niger Kogi Command, Busayo Oluwagbemiga Kadejo, said more than 10 million naira was generated during the period under review.
To achieve this feat, we deployed massive intelligence and respected our rules of engagement.
The comptroller said the command is committed to achieving the implementation of federal government fiscal policies and confront smugglers and other economic saboteurs. In Mina, Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
Gunmen numbering about 5 have shot dead Taiwo Yekomi, a director of finance in the office of the Ogun State governor, carted away an undisclosed amount of money. The Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamotu, said the deceased was ambushed after withdrawing the money from a commercial bank in Abeokuta. The Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamotu, said he has requested for the bank's CCTV footage and has reached out to Lagos Police Command and others to apprehend the fleeing suspects. Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has commiserated with the deceased family, describing the incident as a rude shock and called for prayers for the family of the late director. And the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, says he is committed to ensuring provision of adequate security through renewed efforts for peace and development of the country. He stated this in Yola as part of his familiarization visit to police commands and formation. Simon Asha reports.
This is the third time the UNDP and the Global Security Sector Reform will be presenting training and office equipment to the force.
Our commitment to this noble mission involves providing essential training and procurement support in alignment with the aspirations of the NPF.
These resources are a testament to our commitment to enhancing your operational capabilities and fostering a professional working environment as part of the ongoing police reform funded by the Federal Republic of Germany.
DIG Frank Mba, who received the items on behalf of the IGP, says the support is invaluable and addresses some of the identified needs in the force.
These items couldn't have come at a better time because they will be adequately and efficiently deployed in our training institutions.
The UNDP and the Global Security Sector Reform are committed to promoting security sector reforms worldwide. Francis from NTA News.
Sorry about that mix-up. That report was actually from Francis from here in Abuja, not Yola. Moving on. The Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, has been honored by the Initiative for Mental Health and Peace Sustenance for its passion in ameliorating the plight of widows, children, and the police barracks communities. Francis Farm again reports this was at a ceremony in Abuja.
When the wife of the Inspector General of Police, Elizabeth Egbetsokun, and her team were discharging their responsibilities of helping the less privileged, little did they know that they will be noticed by the Initiative for Mental Health and Peace. Having monitored the leadership style of the IGP's wife since her time as state chairperson of POA in Kwara State Command, today the group is in her office to honor her leadership.
In her own way, she has spent her own resources and tried to reach out to goodwill, to support, to help the less privileged.
So we in POA, we try to reach out to them, to bring them closer to us. You are not being abandoned. We still love you. There are still little things we can do to help you.
The Initiative for Mental Health and Peace assured POA of its continued collaboration in achieving freedom for the women. Francis from NTA News.
Our next port of call is Makadi, where Fatima is standing by with more reports on Nationwide.
Welcome and thanks for joining us in Makudi. The Nigerian Army is to deploy more special troops to various flashpoints in Benue State as a way of restoring peace in the state. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja gave the assurance during his visit to Governor Hyacinth Alia and members of the State Executive Council in Makudi. Elias Itiaf completes the report.
Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who is in the state on an assessment tour of army formation, said special troops will be deployed to Ukum, Logo and Katsina local government areas to ensure the return of peace in that axis. The Army Chief added that the operation will be carried out alongside with other existing defense quarters operations, a situation he believes will ensure the return of internally displaced persons, IDPs, to their ancestral homes.
And just like I've pledged, these troops are the people's army. They are the disposal of the government, including the government of Benue State, and they will work to ensure that law-abiding citizens enjoy that duty that the government owes them, which is that of facilitating peace, security and stability.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, while appreciating the Nigerian Army for its sustained efforts in ensuring peace, pledged the state government's commitment to support the troops in fighting intra- and interstate security challenges.
We know, you already know this terrain of ours, and we cannot stop coming to you. You have already given us your word of partnership and collaboration. We are looking forward to even more prompt responses, for as you have come back home today.
The special troops, according to the Chief of Army Staff, will be deployed within the next 7 days. In Makudi, Elias Itiaf, NTA News.
Still on security matters, students of Course 46 at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna State, on a study tour to Benue State, have been taxed on professionalism in their findings so as to profile solutions to challenges of insecurity in the state. The state governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, gave the charge when he received them at Government House, Makudi. Elias Itiaf again has more.
Nigerian Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, since its establishment in 1976, is saddled with a mandate of training tactical and operational officers in combating insecurity. The study tour being embarked upon by students of the Course 46 of the college to Benue State is designed to afford the officers first-hand assessment of security situation and to proffer possible solutions to the issues.
During this visit, the student officers are tasked to research certain critical areas of social, economic life of the whole state that have direct impact on the country at large.
Governor Hyacinth Alia, who assured the team of the government's commitment to enable them effectively carry out their research in strengthening national security, tasked the officers to exhibit professionalism in the course of their assignment. He commended the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies for their untiring efforts in the fight against security threats.
The commitment of our government in addressing the root causes of internal security threats through strategic policies and proactive measures are both motivating and encouraging. At the end of your study tour in Benue State, do share best practices and experiences between the armed forces, government agencies, and the society.
Findings of the study tour, according to the leader of the delegation, Commodore Robert Obea, will be made public in January 2024. In Makudi, Elias Itiaf, NTA News.
And that's it from Makudi. It's back to Olajide in Abuja.
Many thanks, Fati. And moving on. Despite the allocation of more than 100 billion naira to basic education every year, resources from the federal government alone can no longer sustain the running of the system. Executive Secretary, Universal Basic Education Commission (UVEC), Hamid Boboy stated this at a one-day meeting in Abuja targeted at promoting partnership with the organized private sector. Olayin Kauju reports.
Going by the statistics made available by the Universal Basic Education Commission, Nigeria has more than 45 million children currently enrolled in basic education subsector with inadequate learning materials and infrastructure. Even though the federal government is spending so much money on education, the sector requires more resources to ensure quality education. And this is what this partnership with key stakeholders is seeking to achieve.
Building quality within the system in the area of expanding access as well as in the area of having equity.
Stakeholders are worried that unless teachers are compensated and adequately motivated, it will be difficult to deliver the much desired quality of education.
This program will create an avenue for strategic partnership to improve service delivery and enhance the process of UBE activities.
It is through this synergy that we can bridge the gaps, share resources.
The meeting is to fashion out programs that can enhance quality and access to basic education, as well as beneficial for its development. Olayin Kauju, NTA News.
Another break beckons nationwide. Many thanks for being there. Now let's join Bilkisu in Jos for more nationwide. Bilkisu, over to you.
Jos. Execution of projects in communities affected by crisis is a way of restoring means of livelihood to victims of such conflicts. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, was speaking while inaugurating projects in Mangu local government area of Plateau State. Indiang and the Abagang reports.
On this day, I have the honor and glory to commission this project for the benefit of mankind to the glory of God.
This symbolic inauguration rekindles the hope of the benefiting communities that were recently displaced by crisis. Projects inaugurated include renovated nomadic primary school and borehole at Danghausa and primary healthcare center at campus, newly constructed solar borehole at Dungmunan and Dutsen Lamba in Gindri respectively.
This project is to train future leaders in Nigeria.
We are here today to celebrate this good work. The type of water that we drink in Abuja, we drink in Jos and big cities. Today we are drinking same water here.
The Chief of Army Staff, represented by the GOC 3 Division, says execution of the project is a non-kinetic approach to maintaining peace and security, as well as a way of restoring means of livelihood of the communities affected by a series of violent conflicts.
Commissioning of this project marks a significant step towards the restoration and the reintegration of the communities that have endured unimaginable hardship. I urge you all to continue working together, support one another, and rebuild your lives and communities.
The community pledged judicious utilization of the facilities while assuring the Army of their support and cooperation in achieving its mandate of protecting the nation. Indenyan and Abagang, NTA News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has been reinvigorated with 2,500 personnel absorbed into its workforce. This follows the passing out of the officers at the NDLEA Academy at Rikos, Jos, Plateau State. Caleb Gochin has details.
One of the challenges confronting the nation is drug abuse, which has been the bane of many young citizens actualizing their dreams in life. The commitment of the present leadership of the agency has witnessed significant improvement in the quest to check the menace, and with this additional personnel, the agency says the war will succeed. Chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, represented at the occasion, warns the officers against sabotaging the efforts put in place to fight substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking.
You are coming into this organization at an interesting time
when the reforms have been implemented and plans have been laid for the next phase of action to curb drug abuse and trafficking in Nigeria.
The agency, the chairman noted, is expanding its presence in all the local government areas of the country and challenged the officers to brace up and deliver as expected. Chairman, House Committee on Drugs and Narcotics, Abbas Adeogun, gave the assurance of his committee at ensuring that the needs of the NDLEA are met to enable it succeed.
We have a standing bill now that we put before the House. We hope the President will assent to it. That law will come with a lot of discipline and a lot of penalty for people that do the hard drugs.
Those who excelled during the training were awarded accordingly. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
That's all from our end in Jos. It's back to Olajide for the continuation of Nationwide.
Many thanks, Bukisu. The need to revive a reading culture in Nigeria resonates during the unveiling ceremony of a 151 pages book titled 50 Years in God's Service, the story of Bishop Dan Ikechukwu Igboka, held in Abuja. Thomas Ogbetere, who witnessed the unveiling of the book, tells us more.
The 151-page book with 26 chapters, according to the book reviewer Patrick Ogejofor, a former chairman of the Association of Nigerian Authors Abuja chapter, contains the history of Bishop Daniel Ikechukwu Igboka from birth to his 50 years of service in the body of Christ, especially in the northern part of Nigeria.
The book is put together to document his achievements, his trials, his temptations, and how he triumphed in the end.
If our nation can actually go through the road of godliness, I think there shall be a very great turnaround.
If you see a successful man and they want to be successful, if you are wise, go and read his biography.
His depth in the Word of God.
A man that God have used for my life.
The way he loved God and served him attracted me to his side.
God cannot put that grace in you unless you become humble.
Bishop Daniel Igboka, who could not hide his joy, called on Nigerian leaders to create a secured and enabling environment for every Nigerian to excel. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
Bayelsa State, blessed with mineral and maritime-based potential, is one of the few states in the country expected to contribute immensely in food sufficiency from the creeks, river and ocean around the state. This, the state government says, is set to actualize now with huge investment to grow the sector and generate employment for the youth. Doris Akumoye has details.
Aquaculture has a long-standing tradition in Bayelsa State, as small-scale marine and inland fishing are traditional activities in the state. Available records shows that Bayelsa State contributes 5% of the country's annual fish production, given that 3/4 of the state territory is a network of rivers. Investigation, however, reveals that despite these known fishery potentials of the state, the agriculture subsector is facing challenges arising from lack of indigent fishermen.
Any fish you see up on market plenty in outside people that they kill.
We are not getting fish from our young ones. We normally go to the north to bring all these Aboki people to come to Bayelsa to fish for us. By doing so, we pay their transport.
Fish is also part of what we want to explore and expand. Originally we were for catfish, but now we're doing tilapia, and that's moving very successfully.
Investigation, however, reveals that some common species of fishes found in Bayelsa State, including saltwater species. Enyenegoa Doris Akumoye, NTA.
Now let's join Abubakar in Maiduguri for stories making the rounds from that zone. Abubakar.
It's actually good to see you, Olajide, and thank you for joining us. The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs is working towards coming up with a template that will prevent repeated incidences of fire outbreaks at Muna IDPs camp in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs, Tijani Aliyu Ahmed, disclosed this during an assessment as well as sympathy visit to the camp, where over 500 households, including victims of recent fire disaster, received assorted food and non-food items. The report.
Muna IDP camp in Maiduguri has continued to experience fire outbreaks that usually leaves questions to be answered by victims regarding the cause of such calamities. The last fire incident at the camp prompted this visit by a high-level delegation from the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs, led by the Federal Commissioner, with a view to coming up with a workable plan against recurrence. Towards ensuring transparency and orderliness in giving succor to the victims and non-victims of the fire incident, the National Commission for Refugees deemed it necessary to make a symbolic presentation of relief materials to the people at its Maiduguri office.
We want to thank Mr. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, for this an emergency effort that he made towards ensuring that these people that were caught up with fire incidents here in Maiduguri were not left on their own.
The victims, while thanking the federal government for always responding to pressing issues affecting persons of concern in Borno, affirmed to support the Commission in finding durable solution to incidences of fire outbreaks in Muna IDP camp. The delegation had earlier interacted with officials of United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees on repatriating Nigerian IDPs in Cameroon and other parts of the world. The visitors were also at the venue of an empowerment training and provision of starter packs on soap making and air freshener production organized by the Commission, where the Federal Commissioner told the trainees that the program is in line with the Renewed Hope initiative of President Bola Tinubu.
And to a little bit of health matters now. Lack of transparency and accountability, poor attitude of healthcare workers to patients, and inadequate working tools are some of the factors hindering quality healthcare service in Borno, especially in the rural areas. These were some of the submissions of stakeholders in the health sector at a one-day town hall meeting organized by the Borno State High-Level Committee on the Reform of the Health Sector. Zainab Adam reports that the event took place at the International Conference Hall, Musa Usman State Secretariat, Maiduguri.
Enhancing healthcare delivery is one of the priority areas of the Borno State Government's 25-year development plan and 10-year strategic framework targeted towards rebuilding the state. Hence, the town hall meeting to rub minds with stakeholders on the way forward. The high-level committee on the reform of the health sector swung into action on 18th July 2023 to examine the efficacy of Borno State's healthcare management system and recommended measures that will ensure improvement in the system. The committee worked with 4 subcommittees to generate and harmonize an inclusive data on primary, secondary and tertiary healthcare services in the state, in addition to provision of preventive and curative health with effective working tools as well as trained manpower.
This is something that's well overdue. I'm so happy that as soon as we realized it was necessary, the governor just passed it on. In terms of sustainability of the law, what is required actually now is we're going to be developing the SOPs, the manuals for implementation of this.
Other speakers commented on how lack of discipline contributes to that of expertise across health facilities, in addition to varying contributions on all aspects of improving health service provision. The town hall meeting collated submissions and recommendations from participants, part of which is the need for the creation of a monitoring and evaluation unit and imbibing modern trends in the actualization of universal health coverage in Borno. In Maiduguri, Zainab Adam, NTA News.
And that will be it for now from Maiduguri. Olajide is back to you now.
Many thanks, Abubakar, and reports just reaching us from the Sunshine State House that the Ondo State House of Assembly and its Speaker have withdrawn the appeal filed before the Court of Appeal, Abuja, against the ruling of the Federal High Court, Abuja, which stopped the planned impeachment of the Ondo State Deputy Governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa. The appellants in the appeal challenged the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court, Abuja, to handle the matter, as well as halting the planned impeachment of the Deputy Governor. Counsel to the Speaker and the Ondo State House of Assembly, Remi Olatuborai, told the 3-member panel of justices of the appellate court that he has instructions of the client to withdraw the appeal. Olatubora told the court that parties in the matter have found a political solution to their problems and have signed an agreement to withdraw the appeal. The appeal is being withdrawn in the interest of peace and as part of the agreement reached by the parties. Respondents in the appeal confirmed that they were served with the notice of withdrawal, adding that they were not objecting to the notice of withdrawal. Justice Haruna Samani, who led the three-member panel, subsequently dismissed the appeal, having been withdrawn by the appellants. The appeal filed on October 3rd by the Ondo Assembly and its Speaker against the orders made ex parte by Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court, Abuja, on September 26, restraining the Ondo State Governor, its Chief Judge and House of Assembly Speaker and others from proceeding with their planned impeachment of Deputy Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa pending the determination of a pending motion and notice for interlocutory injunctions. And that's it on Nationwide. Many thanks for being a part of it. I am Olajide Bello.